Hey guys, what's up? I'm Muthulakshmi, a UX UI designer and design mentor. So, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through something interesting about a case study that I found in Behance. So, in that, I'll be highlighting what worked well and what could have been improved. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Let me walk you through this case study. So, it is about a rental application, I feel, because the cover image suggests that, and also the UI looks good. They have placed the final mockup over the top in the first fold, and then moving forward there is the overview, which is the introduction to this application. That shows the logo and then what does Blue Nest do. So we are not sure whether it is a redesign application, which means they are redesigning the existing application because the features are listed over here, or is this app designed from scratch? That is bit unclear over here. And then they are coming to the problem and solution stage. So the viewer, the recruiter or whoever is viewing this case study, will get a clear understanding on which stage they are, whether it is overview, problem solution statement, or timeline, or the design process. So it gives a clear picture. So the problem here is there are outdated listings and there are fake photos, poor filters, which is for the rental of the tenants, whoever is searching for home. And on the other side, the landlords, like the owners, are also struggling to find reliable tenants. So it is focusing on both the perspectives. There are two users. One is the uh, people who are coming for rent, the tenant, and the other is the owner. So for solving this kind of problem, the solution statement is to list accurately and verified photos, and also to use smart filters and secure messaging, direct connection, and no third party hassle. So there is not going to be any third party involved over here. So this will be helpful for both the tenants and the owners. Okay, then let's move forward. In the design process, they've started with the empathy, like empathizing the users from the user's perspective, whatever is involved, like survey. Let's see, they've received 94 responses in quantitative analysis. So they have also added it in this way. It looks good, it is visually good, but not all the questions whichever is mentioned over here. They have given an overlay so that only few of the questions are shown here. Maybe a link to view the detailed case study would have been helpful. That is one thing that could have been done here. Moving forward to interview, they've also did the qualitative analysis. So they've mentioned it as qualitative over here, but they have not mentioned it as quantitative over here. But why would both these methods be required? We are not sure, because not each and every process needs to be involved in the case study. Whatever is required and whatever is most important could be included. So they have directly interviewed the people. For this, I have a suggestion. We could maybe interview the user and then add the video clip recording over here, or it could even be a screenshot of you interviewing the person, maybe in Google Meet, a screenshot of that, or it could be just a image of you in person interviewing the user. That would be more effective rather than using the image and then asking the question which along with the answer, getting the answer. So instead of that, this would be even more better, and it could result in more impact. And then they have the persona. With the information that they collected from the qualitative and quantitative analysis, they have derived the persona. The persona consists of a fourth year university student who has been renting apartments in Baku for past 4 years. Focused on her education, she prefers fast and practical solutions, mainly using online platforms for house renting. But the image does not suit with the bio which is written. It doesn't feel like she's struggling to because of budget or balancing cost and quality. So even that matters. Okay, so we need to uh, identify whether the persona is matching with whatever we have written. Okay, so a persona for this case study, what I would suggest is that we can maybe add a young couple, a newly wedded couple. They are trying to find a home, but they are not able to find a reliable owner. Maybe that could be a better kind of persona which we can take, rather than having a persona of age 43 or too young 20. That may not be much relevant to the problem statement which is mentioned earlier, right? And then there comes the empathy map, like what she feels, thinks, sees, and does. Budget constraints again, and they use websites for house hunting. So this could be refined in the way which I just said, like replacing it with the young couple. And then comes the user stories. So the customer journey mapping. So how she's aware of this awareness stage. She needs to find a new rental apartment is the awareness stage, and then she browses listings or whatever journey that she goes through that has been given over here. She schedules viewings or virtual tours, evaluating the properties she shortlisted. She makes the final decision and signs the rental contract. She moves in and adjusts to the new apartment. And then this would be something similar to the competitor analysis. This is benchmarking. So they were taking the competitors like booking.com, EV10, Binai's, Airbnb, Tabbies. So in terms of visual, they have compared. Okay, in terms of visual is fine, but even the UX needs to be compared. That is more important. Visual comparison, we can make it like a competitive audit, maybe like just an audit, what works well and what doesn't work well in terms of the UI. Because without having the screenshot of that particular application, it will be difficult to compare what is there present in that particular application and what is not present. So having a screenshot over here and then saying what works well in this particular screen and what can be improved will make more sense, rather than having this kind of detail. So for UX as well, like the functionality, what is working well, like the filters are discoverable. If it is not discoverable, then you can also add some suggestions, like how you can improve the filters in this. Maybe Mintra has some filters in the side, and some filters narrow down once it is applied will be shown in the applied filters on top. and narrow down filters will also be shown. Similar to that, we can also try finding out from the competitors, direct and indirect competitors. So in terms of functionality also, we need to look in the other competitor applications. Okay, the storyboarding looks good. Maybe I think it is taken from AI. Okay, but more than that, you creating the stories in your own, maybe like using Procreate. If you are an illustrator or something, you are interested in that, if you are trying to do it on your own, then that adds more value. This is just an additional value thing that you could improve. Like, it's not necessary that you need to add storyboarding first, but if it's required for your case study, then this is one thing that you could do. Nilufer lives with her family in a small village. Mm. She checks her exam results on the phone. She scored 600 points and got accepted university in Baku. She tells her family and then they celebrate. The family realizes she needs to rent a place. So, first of all, when she gets the score above 600, first, what the family would think, they would actually look for uh, the PG or maybe hostel. That is the case. For a student, they'll usually look for college hostel. After college hostel, they'll only look for PG, right? Not in house to rent, because they'll be parents. As parents, they'll be scared to leave a girl alone in house. Okay, so this could be refined in that way. And also information architecture, if it needs to be mentioned, then each and everything, without an overlay, each and everything should be added. Or if it could not be shown in this space, then minimize whatever is not required, make it short. Or instead of showing information architecture, you can skip information architecture and then show only the user flow, because this is not clear for the user to understand. Maybe we are not able to clearly have an understanding of what it is, what this app is actually about, what are all the features which is present in this application. Even the user flow is also cut. So there is it actually doesn't make sense when both of these things are included but it is not fully included, right? Okay, so only the major wireframes can be included. That is fine. Whatever is important can be included. So when it comes to mid fidelity wireframe, instead of having the rectangle, and instead of just showing it as Google Maps here, we can just add the image and then um, make it in gray shades, right? Reduce saturation, contrast, like that, and then show the high quality wireframe. So that will add in more value, and also as a viewer, we can easily scan and then understand how is the quality of wireframe. That could also be evaluated. Being a UX designer, that is really important. Okay, but the placeholder texts are fine, just to get a understanding of how this app will actually look like. And then moving to UI design, okay, this actually looks good. Whatever heading is, whatever font is used, heading size, and what are the font types used. Okay, this kind of visually saying whatever is used is looking good. Even this looks better. uh, Maybe just adding some kind of stroke over here would give an appealing feel. Coming to the UI part, it is well defined, and also how much spacing is given is also mentioned clearly. and what kind of grid is used is also clearly shown, and the components. Yes, so this is how it is going to be. Yeah, and then comes the final UI. So I feel that here the spacing is bit more. Okay, let's see the functionalities. Home screen, so a crisp text of what this particular screen offers, that is clear. So we should not have a text heavy like content heavy thing for each and every screen. So it is important to have this kind of short crisp text so that the user can actually uh, understand, scan, and uh, grasp it easily, right? So whatever features are here, it is highlighted. Search and filter, like what is mentioned in the problem statement and solution statement. So they need to have the verified reviews and verified photos, right? Okay, notifications, popular listings. It shows the most viewed and in demand properties, and also the navigation bar recently added. Okay, so for onboarding screens, they've minimized the space because these are just uh, low effort screens. So since it is low effort screens, they have added it all together. That is a good approach to move forward. Maybe a short description could be better, why illustrations are added or something like that, or why the user needs to be aware of these information. That could also be given like a small two-liner description. Register screens, yes, but I just feel like the alignment is missing for the register screens. It is not necessary to show each and every state, like verify phone number and then adding the verified phone number. Each and every state is not required. Whatever is the main screen, only that could be included in the case study. And these are the core navigation screens. Okay, so whatever is the inside screen, they have added it here. So if it's core navigation screen, then it should be shown fully, but okay, it is only repeated, so it's okay to follow this format itself. mm, they have like home, liked, but here it says liked and in the top it says favorites. We need to use the same terming. And what does this add fab icon mean? What to which page it leads to? There is no any explanation for this. So that could also be added in this case study. Maybe it could be create my listings. But if it's from the tenant side, then why would they need this create? So it is not clear whether it is for the tenant or for the owner. Okay. Add your listings, this is for the owner to add which type of property they want to list, and what are the features included in that property. Okay, these are the essential things that needs to be added. So how they gathered these information should also be explained in the process itself, like whether the users have mentioned in the qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis, whatever it may be, that could also be mentioned so that we know how this data is collected. Okay, property location, upload photos. So even if we get this data from competitor analysis, we need to show the images of the competitors, how it is. Only then we can understand where you got this data from. Upload and premium offer, so also for which user are you saying? Was the first screen home screen for the tenant or for the owner, or is it entirely for the owner only? And then comes the other screens. Okay, filters also they've added. My profile, so without having name, phone number, how is it possible? So in the onboarding screens itself, they need to ask for the name and phone number, email ID, right? Because without that, how will this user proceed with the chat? How can they communicate with others, or whether they can post review? Nothing will be possible without adding the name, right? So a default name that is editable should have been set here. Overall, this case study that we saw demonstrates a clear and solid user centric approach, starting from the research, wireframes, and final UI. But what matters more is showing the important process fully, like the IA, the information architecture that we saw, that needs to be complete. It should not be cut in half like an overlay. Or if you are going to do it in that way, then you can just maybe link access to your Figma file in order to view the entire case study, and then you can add in the permission in that way, right? You can do that. And other than that, there are a few refinements that could be made, like the suggestions whichever I said. I need to address two more important things. The first one is one point that I mentioned in the start of this project, that is whether it is a redesign project or it is starting from scratch. That needs to be mentioned, along with maybe the timeline could also be included, so that the recruiter can have an understanding of how long it took to complete this entire case study of 80 plus screens. And then in conclusion, there needs to be a proper conclusion, like what are the learnings or the takeaways of the designer in this particular project, like what is the business impact it has got uh, in this particular project, so that the recruiter will know about this project more than the visuals. Okay, so what are your thoughts on this particular case study? Please feel free to comment them. And in order to get more such kind of reviews or feedbacks on your design and for portfolio development, you can please feel free to reach out to me. The link is in description box. You can book my mentorship session. So see you guys in the next video. Until then, keep designing with purpose. Bye.